Before we start, I want to say there's only 2 games in this episode. First one is against Token, as I'm about to go through. The second one is against a player I've never played against before. I don't know if they've played in a tournament before. They not only played amazing, but they brought a deck I never would have expected, and it's one of the craziest games I had all tournament. So check this one out for sure, this first game. But the second game you have to watch. It's absolutely insane. And I'm excited to go through it with you guys. Here we've got our 7th opponent of the tournament. And we've got a 9-3 record. So we're doing well. I'm pretty sure we're near the top at this point. But we have to keep winning. We got to keep the streak up. So next match, this is against Token. And this looks like a Danian burn/compost deck. So I'm going for the Ifjan play first. I'm using Ifjan on Headmaster. And then I'm Zelfing after. To see if I can jump the back line with a completely protected Headmaster. And using that extra resources, I was hoping to either get to jump the back line or have Token use his resources. And if you see here, he's using both Quad counters to burn Headmaster. I'm happy with that, and now I'm just not going to take with Headmaster. So there's 2 options. I could Zelf Malvadine into the front row, but I figure I have Before the Storm in my hand. I feel fine attacking with Iflar. Because you have to be careful here attacking with Iflar because Iflars are only royal. If we lose him, Malvadine loses Air 5 and Defender. But because we have Before the Storm, I'm feeling fine. He decides to defend with Machanaz, I feel even better. And plus, Storm Tunnel is a great location. We probably don't even need to play Before the Storm. We could play Sirocco, but I'm trying to get some damage in. That's 50 damage. Jeez. Because we have Fallgrite, we have the Storm Tunnel bonus, and our Strike 20. So yeah, we're fine. We could play Flying Advantage or Sirocco here. Play Sirocco to flip up here. That makes sense. Flip up Entropy Modulator. So that's great. We got rid of 2 of Umquad's counters and won the combat. Only thing we need to do here is move Malvadine up so Iflar is defended. And we want to move it in a way so that Ifjan is still near our creatures. Because I'm assuming some more burn, maybe a Swarm Song or something. But Momark's Catapult Tower gives creatures Swift 1. Which means his Earbeck will be able to jump our Headmaster. If he decides to do that, which he does. So I could defend with Malvadine, but I like having the Indigo Arc here. Because a common common Danian Music is Adaptive Progression, which can stop one of our attacks. So having the Indigo Arc on Headmaster means that first attack is untargetable. But Earbeck has Zerium armor, which sets all attacks at 20, so we have to get rid of that. So we're casting Armament Adagio. And one of the best plays with this deck is to copy that armament, so that's what we're going to do with Enrahep. Because Umquad lost both the counters, I'm less worried about Umquad and want to target trying to take down Earbeck. So I cast it again on Earbeck and swap that gear with Alexia. So we get the guaranteed 25 damage. Earbeck is water 5, so it's going to deal 20. Headmaster doesn't have much damage after, so I think the best plays go Before the Storm, which is what I do. And I'm waiting to see if there's an adaptive progression, which will completely negate this. Because if there is one, I also have to be aware that Laura can cast it. Okay, Domestic Hive him. 65 plus Alexia Hive activate. Because Earbeck gains 10 energy from that. So I'm happy, that does 20. I'm happy seeing that. Because to me, this means they probably don't have adaptive progression. Because it would have been a lot easier to just play adaptive progression there. So we're just going to keep dealing damage, 15 damage. Swarm Destruction, we're at 5 still. I'm just checking how much the last one did. That'll deal 5. And then Hammer Dash. So not having Ifjan near the combat here kind of sucks because they play another Domestic Hive him. That one's off lore from the discard. And then I think we just let Headmaster die here. Our attack hand's not that good. We got some resources out. Yeah, we used it Before the Storm, but that's okay. I'm happy with this. Then we'll see how he repositions. Looks like he's bringing everyone near that front-facing Earbeck. Yeah, brought Laura up too. So for our turn, I gotta decide. Oh, Bodil's Arsenal. I don't have good options because I don't want to fight with Iflar. Well, I could fight with Iflar here. Choose a battle gear to return. So I could either bring back Fulgurite on Iflar, Indigo Arc on Iflar, but if I want to fight with Headmaster, see, I think I picked none. The reason I picked none is because I want to fight with with Malvadine. Then I can use my Tune of Zarian to bring Indigo Arc back if they use Adaptive Progression. But I do end up, I think, deciding to fight with Iflar. Then I should have definitely just brought Fulgurite back. It was dumb not to be honest. I see why I'm fighting with Iflar here because if I go back with Malvadine, Malvadine can't cover both Ifjan and Iflar from being defended next turn. So I have to fight with Iflar. But that means I should have definitely brought back Fulgurite. But the fact that he defends with lore means he's throwing away that creature. I have it before the Storm in the graveyard. Definitely play Tornado. Yeah. Tackle, bring that back into our deck. But the fact that he's defending with lore is good. It means it doesn't matter that we didn't bring back Fulgurite. We kind of are safe from what was a mistake, was a misplay. And then here we're just throwing away our weak attacks till lore is gone. Getting rid of lore is nice. That means he can't play another Music from his discard. But I guess he's just trying to stall us on our location and then come back and fight on his. But after this combat, if he doesn't play anything here, we can reposition everybody in a way that Malvadine defends everyone. The only bad thing is if they go to attack Zelf, again, if Jan is not in range. But they're getting low on counters. They only have 3 Music counters left. The Darkened Dunes, they can jump anywhere, but if Jan and Malvadine covers everything except for that. Or Malvadine covers there, but if Jan does not. Almar's Projector. Oh yeah, because we swapped Irabek's gear. This one's with Lore High Muge. So here I'm just I'm looking to kill him, but not use any resources if I can help it. Because that gear he has brings Irabek's energy down by 10. But Irabek gets to revive. So. And it doesn't look like we're going to need to use much. Play Obscuring Winds. Oh, we could even play Sirocco. No, okay, we go for the kill. The one nice thing about keeping Sirocco here is if they're running Silchaw's Mine, we can play Sirocco and flip up Telebracers. Because we have Telebracers on Enraheb. Now here, depending on where he positions, we might have to use Zelf. We either use Zelf to send Malvadine, or we attack with Iflar. But if we attack with Iflar, we want Ifjan in range. Oh, brought Irabek there. So what I would probably do, we can bring Fulgurite back, or we can bring Indigo Arc if they go for the adaptive progression. I'm okay fighting with Iflar. No, I would move Ifjan here. This is what I hope I do, is move Ifjan here and then attack with Iflar this way. Because I have 5 Music that are useful. I want to keep my counters. So I don't want to use another Zelf counter if I can help it. We can just commit a lot of resources to making sure Iflar wins this if we need to. And having Ifjan there is nice. They played 1 Domestic Hive him, which is the gain 20 energy if Hive is active Music. I assume they have at least have a Carnivores too. That's at least 1 Music that's dead because Ifjan's here. Yeah, okay, that looks like it's exactly what I do. Umquata's Nexus Fuse, that's the sack deal 15. That's fine, Iflar is untargetable. So we're not worried about any burn, and Storm Tunnel is a great location. So I could go for the Air Salt. I don't want to go for the Sirocco in case they go for the Adaptive Progression. Yeah, then we could have done the Indigo Arc and more damage goes through. We could, 2 before the Storms. I mean, we're fine. We can place, but we have both, and we want to save Sirocco again in case of Silchaw's Mine. How do we position? So here, Ifjan is not defended. So he can go for Ifjan here, unfortunately. I could have used Zelf to bring Malvadine up to defend, but again, I don't want to use a counter. I do lose a counter off Ifchan, but the plus side is Token is fighting my non-fighter on his turn. That's always a good thing. Being able to save your fighters for your own turn is always a good thing. So this is fine. We're just going to throw away weaker attacks. Again, save the Sirocco if we can. I mean, they're not going to have Carnival. They could have... what's the attack? Eroding Blast, I think gets rid... No. Vacuum Hemisphere, which is the attack that gets rid of air, but we still have Aegis area. So, I'd rather save the Sirocco and play both Vapor Wipeouts. Because we don't have another way to get rid of Siltra's Mine if they get Siltra's Mine. So here, Tidal Surge does 0 damage if we have a counter. I tried to make it deal 15. Okay, with 2 Siroccos, play 1 Flip Up Entropy. Yeah, I tried to sacrifice mine to make it deal 15 because I have a good attack hand. Make Ifchan die, but yeah, I forgot how that attack works, to be honest. Okay. Kind of want to fight with Malvadine. I would go Malvadine into Irabek. Yeah. And again, great location. This is good because you have Carnivores. We can play Carnivore's Keening, and we can even copy it with Enrahep if we want to. Yeah, this is fine. Atmosphere is good. Atmosphere is going to deal 30. Yep. Swarm of Destruction is 20. So I'm not too worried, but none of his big attacks have come up yet. So he's got to have at least Ice Discs, I would assume. Infernal Gust. Let's see. Okay, so they have a Carnivores. That means we could use Sirocco to flip up Telebracers. Because the reason he used Carnivores and is happy to use Carnivores is this location. Non-attack damage is 0, so they don't take any Recklessness damage. But we have Sirocco. Okay, no, I go for the Hammer Dash. Ice. Okay, there's Ice Discs. So it gets rid of activated abilities. I could have Aegised it, but Entropy's fine too. Because I have no other activated abilities to worry about anyways. Entropy just makes it so we don't die to that. Because it would have done 35. Instead it does only 15. Okay, we got to play Sirocco. Yeah, okay, we're playing Sirocco here. But again, he doesn't know that I'm flipping up Telebracer. So he goes for a second Carnivores. Amazing. Let's get rid of this location. Mippenum Oasis, now he's taking Rec 20 from the Carnivores. Whereas on the other location, that Rec 20 would have done nothing. Grounding Grapple, we should negate this, I'd say. Because we don't want him being able to... Oh no, he takes the damage before the attack goes through, but... Yeah, I'd Aegis this. It's better than using a Melody. Yeah, cast it off our fighters. And we just have next doors. We can play next doors. Oh, amazing. So we get to put... I clicked through that pretty fast, but we can put Before the Storm on top of our deck. So our next draw is Before the Storm. Here, I didn't use Zelf's counter because I want to be able to use Range Swift to get Malvadine to be able to fight Irabek if I can. Another Swift one. See, he's going for my supports again. Enrahep to me is useless now. It's completely useless. So I'm totally fine with this. It's another location. Although, I kind of get it because I got more speed. So he probably doesn't want to fight on a location where I gain the initiative. And he doesn't really have any incentive to fight on this location. Okay, get rid of Sirocco. Yeah, there's no incentive to fight. And he also played a bunch of his strongest attacks. He just played double Ice Disc and Grounding Grapple. So he probably wants to cycle through his attacks again. But I'm happy here. I'll probably just go for... Yeah, I could just play Tornado Tackle. That's fine. Don't waste it Before the Storm. I could even fight him with Iflar. Like, I have double Before the Storm. At this point, I'm not expecting an adaptive progression. But if he held adaptive progression till now, we still have Tunizarium. I can still play Tunizarium to bring Indigo Arc back. Ghost Gouge. Okay, finally a kill. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable here still. Okay. So yeah, I could Zelf Malvadine over, which I do. But honestly, now I think it would have been better to just fight with Iflar and then keep that other counter. I don't think I needed to fight with Malvadine here. But fine. So I played Vapor Wipeout, but I could have played Before the Storm with the extra damage. And then if he does Adaptive Correction, because it's just 2-shot, he dies. And I could have just Indigo Arced for that, and it's a lot of damage that goes through. But fine, I save it. Because now Indigo Arc doesn't work. Because it's, yeah, so if he had Adaptive Correction, it would have worked on Before the Storm. There. That's why I think I should have played it first. But it worked out because clearly he would have, if he had Adaptive Correction, 100% he would have played it there. So that's fine. You can save Before the Storm here. Maybe play Obscuring Winds. And see. Amazing. So now we just don't want a showdown because we want to keep our last Zelf counter. Can move back. So we have to crowd Alexia. So on his turn, he has to move into one of us. So we can't fight Zelf. Which is what I'm going to do. And I'm fine fighting with either of these guys. I have access to Music. I got Before the Storm. Let's see. Location. Runic Grove. Okay. It's nice to have Melody Mirage. Oh, Stingblade. So that's what was on the other Earbeck initially. Was Stingblade. And how that works is when you activate Hive, the next attack does 10. So it's good into Strike. But we still have our Before the Storm. And I believe that's going to be game. Before the Storm? Yeah. Should be game. There we go. So, that was, I ended up winning the second match too. 11-3. There's only 3 opponents left. If we continue on this pace, we're going to win the tournament. I think at this point, somebody else also had 3 losses. So I'm like, okay, we're at least going to tie for first. We just have to lock in. Now, this deck, I was not expecting at all. Lista, double Lista with Ursus, Loma, Lanker. Lanker's to gain disciplines. So Lista wins initiative. This, I did not expect this at all. This is a deck. So Lista was recently ununiqued. And Lista's always been fun, but never really played in tournaments, maybe here and there. But I've always found Lista to be a fun creature. Seeing this pop up, and I've been getting some of the results, and Creams has a pretty good record at the moment of this game. So I'm like, this deck I know is going to be potent. So Lanker, if you know how Lanker works, he was just shown on the screen. But Lanker, when you use his own energy as a resource, so he loses 5 energy, you target a creature, your own creature usually, and then they gain 15 of any discipline of your choice. I'm just playing Ifjan here, so he has to use all his Lankers at once, and then he can't heal later. And I'm also armamenting on top before my Ifjan goes through, so I can get rid of the Drill Dozer. Now, usually I would use Enrahep to copy armament, and then get rid of the other Lista's gear. But seeing overworld music counters, I'm worried about Refrain of Denial. Because if I copy armament and Creams refrains the initial armament before Enrahep's copy gets resolved, it cancels both. Like both the initial armament and the copied armament both get denied. So it's a waste. Like I could potentially lose an Enrahep counter for free. Plus the initial music. I could still copy it and get 1 through, but then I lose both Enrahep counters, and I like my Tune of Zerion play. So, let's see. Now, because Lista has initiative, Clash Jet is going to deal 30, because you get Outperform Power 10 and Air 10. That's plus 20 damage mods. It's insane. Yeah, look at that 30 damage. Now here, I go for the Atmosphere, I believe, which does 40, because Headmaster gives us an extra 10 strike. And the scary part is, I have my play where I can cast Tune of Zerium twice to get Indigo Arc on Malvadine. But if I try and cast it twice, I run into the same problem with Refrain of Denial, where I can't get the Indigo Arc on Malvadine if both of them get negated by a Refrain of Denial, which is possible. See, they play the Melody of Mirage. I can't really do anything here. So what I'm trying to do right now is bait out Refrain of Denial. I play Carnivores on Malvadine. I'm trying to bait out Refrain of Denial. Because if they play it now, I'm safe. And the reason I'm Carnivoresing so early is because of the location, Royal Mepenian Academy. Usually when you see a Garv, you have to be careful of this because the opponent might be running Telebracers, which is you flip it up. And look at that, both Carnivores go through. So no refrain, so I'm like, fine, I'll let you Melody the attack. I'm not going to try and go for the Tunizarium because both get negated. Hammer Dash is 35. Wow. Listed as so much damage when it's an air and power attack. But I was trying to say is, usually got to worry about Telebracers, but here, Garv has Mepenian Balladier's Flute, and Lanker I know is going to have Corral Husk, so I'm not worried about Telebracers, because Telebracers is a gear you usually put on your supports. Because if this location gets changed, oh wait. And I was shocked when I saw this. Ursus had Telebracers. And look at this. Dude. Ursus had Telebracers. I thought I was safe. I saw this. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to take 20 recklessness damage after all of my attacks. The location got changed to Royal Mepenian Academy again. Creams also runs this location. Like, I got super lucky. Yeah, it was unlucky. I got super lucky because he punished me for doing that Carnivore's Keening play correctly. And having Telebracers on Ursus is sneaky. I never expected it. I should have got punished there. Oh yeah, I got picked before the storm. But I got really lucky. Listen, I'll take it. I will take the luck. I'm not complaining. Okay, Dry Liquid. What did I do? 25. But we have Before the Storm here. I don't want to use it if I don't need to, because I have 70 energy. Luckily, they only have... Oh, Voltorch does 40. So here, I didn't have to Melody this. I could have instead been like, oh, I'm fine. I'm going to Before the Storm next turn. But I'm basically saving my Before the Storm by playing this Melody. Yeah, I would have done 40 damage. So Air Assault does 20. But if you look at the music difference, he's still got 5 and I have 2 left. I've used a lot in this combat. Hammer Dash. Okay, I guess, yeah, I'm ahead by a lot. Get rid of the flying advantage. No, that makes sense. Ectospasm only does 15. Yeah, Hammer Dash or Atmosphere, both deal 20. Atmosphere, sweet. Bodo's Arsenal. Doesn't help us right now because we haven't lost any gear. He's going to sack his Balladier's Flute on Garv. We don't mind that. We can put another counter on Enrehep. That means we have 2 counters potentially to get around Refrain of Denial. Here, I probably want to be attacking with Malvadine. I mean, we do have Before the Storm, but we could attack with Iflar because of Before the Storm. Or actually, we could attack with Headmaster because he has the Indigo Arc, and Creams might defend with Loma. And Loma, her ability, target elemental attack, does 0 damage. If we start with Headmaster, then you can't use Loma's ability on Headmaster's first attack. I don't think you go with Iflar. I think it's either Headmaster or Malv. Probably go with Headmaster. I think I decided to go with Headmaster too. Or do I go with Malvadine? Oh, we want to bring up Ifjan. Yeah, of course. Got to bring up Ifjan to make them untargetable. Am I fighting with... Okay, I fight with Malv. Yeah, that's fair. I guess I can always Tune of Zarium the Indigo Arc onto him if they do defend with Loma. Okay, and they don't even defend with Loma, so perfect. Lankering to gain initiative, that makes sense. Just play the Ifjan now. Let them use all their Lankers after. This at least blocks Gurgatar off Garv and prevents them from Lankering into other stats later. I wonder if Lanker has Crawl Husk armor. No, I feel like he would have flipped it up by now. Unless he's worried about my Gear Glissando. I don't know. I feel like he would have flipped it up by now. Maybe it's just not needed. Traditionalist charge. Yeah, I feel like we would have flipped up Husk Armor by now if he needed it. Then, but what is it? It's face down gear. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just anything except for Before the Storm here is good. No more, yeah, no more Impedium Music, so I wasn't worried about that getting negated. I guess they could have Symphony of the Shielding off Loma instead of Refrain. I just assumed it was Refrain. Yeah, Droskin that for sure. That's 25 damage, one of their better attacks. And let's just go for the Before the Storm. Ursus has 3 counters. They're definitely losing a lot of value here, so I know they're going to commit somewhat. Caster's Warsong onto Enrehep. So this is, I think, a mistake I made. I should have moved Enrehep into... No, I was going to say move into Ifjan range, but I'm always using Ifjan on the Ursus. Unfortunately, Enrehep is just dying here. I think it's fair to use Tune of Zerium now. Yeah. I don't want to use it off Zelf because I figure I can keep one Zelf counter in case I need range Swift, and then keep the other one for the last music. I'm copying here. I'm surprised that there's no Refrain of Denial here. So now I'm thinking maybe it's not, because it could have been easy Refrain of Denial, block both Tune of Zeriums there. But instead, so I want to sack Entropy to bring Entropy back. That's why I'm picking that to sack. I get Droskin and then sack Telebracers because Enrep's dead. Get Entropy back on Ifjan. He was only really there to cast Tune of Zerium anyways. I mean, to get around Refrain of Denial, yeah. But I don't think it's Refrain of Denial anymore. So I'm happy with that. Killing Ursus and getting rid of those 2 Music. Runic Grove, we only have 1 Music left. It's not the worst. I assume they're going to fight with Lista here. Lankering before combat. I guess just to get around Ifjan. They get 1 extra Lanker tap. Because Ifjan always blocks 1 at least. So get 1 extra 1 that way. May as well do it if you know you're going to fight with Lista. We could still Ifjan now to block Gurgith, but I guess we can save it. And do it when they do it. Okay, they got their Outperform Power 10 and their Air 10. Sirocco, we get to flip up another Entropy. I think Sirocco is definitely the play, yeah. And it still deals, what, 25 damage? 30 damage. Nice. Great tar flipping. Yeah. Losing Droskins kind of sucks. Lissa just does so much damage. Oh my gosh, Marksman. Yeah, that's going to deal 40. Can't play Aegis on this location, so going for the Entropy. Yep. Okay. Hammer Dash. We're going to probably need it before the Storm to win this. Lissa just does so much damage. And we can't cast Aegis. Yeah, Hammer Dash. I would even... This is dealing 35. I would let this go through. Because there's no way we block this and then have enough damage to... Unless we draw Before the Storm. But we don't have Before the Storm. I'm looking at what other potential attacks they could have. But as long as they have a 20 damage attack on their next one, there's no reason to Entropy here. So I have to let it go through. Because I'm dead either way. May as well save resources. After that, I kind of wished I saved the first Entropy as well. But... Okay, Storm Tunnel... We both get damage bonus. But I have Aegis and an Entropy. I kind of like my damage bonus a little better. Do I go with Iflar or Headmaster? I assume they're going to maybe defend with Loma. I'd go with Headmaster. Iflar can easily get 2-shot. Am I going with Iflar? No, I'm going to Headmaster. Yeah. It's the right play. Even if they don't defend with Loma. First attack, let's see. Don't be too strong. Yeah, they get Lista. Lista's just so much damage. And with Drill Dozer, 80 energy's nothing to scoff at. Dry Liquid. Okay, it's not too bad. That's 25 damage. Yeah, may as well Ifjan again. The nice thing is, yeah, they have 3 music left, but if they're running any sort of Overworld music, it's probably a 2-cost, either Refrain of Denial or Symphony of Shielding. Unless it's like double carnivores that's left. Could be that. But Lanker blocks, or if Jam blocks that, so that's amazing. If it is just double carnivores. And then some other music. So steals 25. But we have strike 25 on our attack. We just have to draw into Before the Storm. There's one in the second half of the deck somewhere. We just need to draw it. There's 7 cards left. Okay. So that's, what is it, 45? Yeah, nice. 45 damage. Synaptic. Okay, we let that go through. Although now we can't entropy to save ourselves. It's just not enough, dude. Even if I entropy the other attack, though, it's pretty easy for them to get 20 damage attack. Man. Flash Warp, yeah, they got us. Oh, yeah, we have Aegis. Okay, so here is good because even though our next attack does 0, we can use entropy to get through that. So our next attack will deal 15. But they have Refrain of Denial. Okay, I was honestly surprised. Most of the game, I thought they had Refrain of Denial. And then when they didn't use it on Tune of Zerium, I literally thought, I was like, there's no way. They must have like just double Karn or something. So honestly, them holding it was smart because I didn't expect it. And now we're in trouble. Okay, there's 6 attacks left in the deck. If we draw Before the Storm with Iflar, we can easily win this combat. We have Strike 20 and Air 10. Okay, Air Assault first. That does 45. Come on. Okay, let's see their attack. Class Jet is 30. I would entropy this. Oh yeah, wait. I'm so dumb. This is why Iflar was so key in this matchup, and I forgot. We have Surprise. Iflar has Surprise, which means Lista cannot gain initiative. So we're chilling. We don't need Before the Storm. Bro, how did I forget that? Iflar is so clutch in this matchup. Yeah, it does 20. Because now, look, her Clash that does 10 usually does 30 damage. It's such a huge difference. Lista without winning initiative is honestly pretty ass. It's night and day difference. So we're just vibing now. Like, even Voltorch does 20. Just let that go through. They have no music left. All they have is Gurgatar. All we need to do is deal 15 damage. Okay, I'm entropying. Oh, yeah. Okay, listen. I guess... Yeah, I was thinking a little greedily. Voltorch does 20 damage, which means it will be down to 15 energy. And look at our attack hand. We actually don't have an attack that does 15 damage right now. But we do have Flying Advantage. Actually, that's a mistake. I didn't need it. Because if I use Flying Advantage on the next attack... Because I was going to say, if we're down to 15 energy from the Voltorch, we can't use Entropy to save ourselves if we don't kill Lista. Because it only sets it to 15. But we do have Flying Advantage. So if we don't draw a 15 damage attack, we can just play Flying Advantage and then heal 5. So I actually could have held Entropy. Because then we would have been at 20 and we could have used Entropy if we needed. That was a mistake. But Sirocco is 15. So we get Lista. Now all we got to do is deal with the weaker fighters. Yeah, obviously they don't Gurgit there because if Jan is right there, they would have blocked it. All right, let's see what location we get. And we have 3 more attacks left in the deck. Bro, Before the Storm's got to show up, right? It's got to show up. Okay, move Ifjan up, fight Loma. Let's go. Yeah, make Loma untargetable. To stop the Gurgith. I mean, we can always just hold it too. There's no difference really using it now or using it later. We get the surprise. And there's Before the Storm finally, bro. Stuck in the bottom 3. But we got it. Okay, no Fallbright though we needed Before the Storm. Fearless Strike 25. Yeah, I just let these go through. Gotta save Ifjan for Gurgith Tar. And our Before the Storm's gonna deal How much is it going to deal? 50. Perfect. Perfect. But now we have an ass attack hand. So Iflar... Okay, I actually brought Zelf up. I'm just hoping they don't go into Iflar because our attack hand's so bad. Rock River Canyon doesn't help either of us. They might fight Ifjan so they can use Gurguth Tar, but I don't know. Jeez, okay, one for Iflar. Tornado Tackle, yeah, might as well. There's really no difference in damage. Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah, no, it's Jan now. Actually, this is a mistake. So they could sack a Gurguth Tar here and give Garv a counter. Because Gurguth Tar gives counters to caretakers. So what I should have done is held my Ifjan for when they actually do sack Gurguth Tar and I can block it. I guess they didn't realize that. Or maybe they only have 2-cost Music left. I don't know. But that was a misplay by me. And I kind of got lucky that I didn't get punished. Hammer Dash only does 5. Jeez. Synaptic. We're actually... Bro. I think we're going to lose. 30 energy. How much damage? Okay, yeah, we're... Dude! Let's go before the storm? Bro, you know what? A little bit of a luck reversal. We had before the storm on the bottom 3 attacks. Now we get it in what, the first 5? Let's go. Honestly, that was insanely clutch and honestly insanely lucky. We would have lost that game if I didn't drop before the storm right there. No way if Jan is winning. Even before the storm. Maybe. Maybe if Jan is winning that. Maybe. But probably not. Okay, now there's just Lanker left. Move these guys up. Yep. Don't move into their territory so we get to fight on our location. Perfect. Move Ifjan up. Move Ifjan up. There you go. Don't forget to do that. I could make untargetable now. And then have to decide what to do with their disciplines, but I can also just wait. Yeah, Iflar's kind of useless. Oh, I go Iflar into it? Even on that location? I get the idea. It's because our attack hand sucks. Oh, wow. We actually do the other Vapor Wipeout too. So it kind of was the right play, maybe. Crawl Huskarmer. See, I knew it was Huskarmer. I guess they wanted to save their Garv counters for other stuff. So they didn't flip it up. Tornado Tackle. Class Jet. Huskarmer. It's a lot of energy, but as long as we're doing consistently 15 damage per attack, they can only deal 0. Because that's how the gear works. You gain 50 energy, but if equipped creature is dealt 15 or more attack damage, its next attack does 0. I would move Iflar back just to be safe here. And in case they... Wow. Yeah, see, if we didn't move Iflar back, that would have been game over. Our first attack does 0. That's all our damage with Iflar. We probably would have lost. Yeah, fight into Ifjan, that's fine. I'm just going to throw away more weaker attacks. We have a chance to get into Before the Storm as well. But as long as we're doing 15 damage consistently, we're safe. Because they can never deal more than 0. Like, they're always going to be dealing 0 damage. Like, these attacks I'll have in my hand are all 15 damage attacks. Yeah, so that attack did 0 because we have less speed. They went for the Fearless Strike. Seeing Fearless Strike here, like, they probably have a pretty good attack hand. Well, and we drew Before the Storm. Yeah. We're chilling. We're definitely chilling. Bodo's Arsenal. Yeah, amazing. Bring back Droskin. Now we're feeling good. Bro, it was that Garv combat. Oh my god, that draw was insanely clutch. This was one of the craziest games I've ever played. And trust me, I've played a lot of Chaotic. And this is one of the craziest games I've ever played. It was so much fun. It was so nerve-wracking too. Yeah, play the weakest attack because it's guaranteed to deal 15 or at least 15. It was 30. Ectospasm, and I think we just win with it before the storm. But yeah, see, as long as we're drawing 15 damage attacks, it didn't matter anyways. But GG's. That was crazy. So after this, we play again. And I went first, so it was a little easier. And ended up 13-3. So we're 13-3 going into the last two opponents. Now there is someone else who also only had, I think had 2 losses at this point. So I'm actually in second, but we haven't played them yet. So we're going to see in the final video, I'm going to show you both matches from that round, and you'll see the final results after that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the games. See you in the next one. Peace.